Update 093 sees me attempt to pronounce the names of the new Polish captains. How many attempts will it take me? Let's find out.
All on the bowling, Kitty is my darling. All on the bowling, bowling hall.
Greetings StatsBloke and welcome to this Foghorn update for 093, which brings clan battles, a rank sprint, changes to signals and some changes to the Armoury. First of all though, the headline topic, the second half of the European Destroyer line release event. This update, which hits CIS and NA on Wednesday and C and EU on Thursday, sees the full line released from the Tier 1 cruiser Gryf all the way up to Tier 10 tech tree destroyer Halland. Any ships you've received under early access will be converted to normal tech tree ships, and you'll be able to research the ships in the line as normal. As has become the pattern over the last few line releases, the second half of the event sees the introduction of a special commander. In this case, it's Polish commander Jerzy Szwirski. He will be available in two ways. The first way is via a new temporary campaign called Strong-Willed, which will be available for 6 months and will have stages which will unlock each week after the release of 093. The final reward for the campaign is Szwirski with 10 points. Don't forget that, as with all campaigns, you can repeat missions you've already completed in order to collect the stars. You can win the stars multiple times for the same mission, but you only receive the reward once. This is useful if there's a particular mission you find easy. Simply complete that mission several times to complete the stage, and you can go back and mop up the other missions later. Szwirski has enhanced adrenaline rush, and the special ability is Torpedo Reload Expert, which gives a 5% torpedo reload buff for every 8 torpedo hits, and AA Gun Aiming Expert, which gives a 10% buff to AA for scoring 20 plane kills. The torpedo buff can be repeated, but the AA buff is once per battle. Szwirski makes a great commander for Halland. The campaign will be removed after 6 months. Approximately 6 months after that, i.e. 1 year from now, Szwirski will return for coal. I mentioned there are two ways to get Szwirski. The other way is via random pre-rolled bundles available in the Armoury for 500 doubloons. There are 61 different bundles, with 60 containing signals, camo, XP and coal. One of the 61 bundles contains two commanders, Jerzy Szwirski with a massive 14 points and Grzegorz Brzezięty with 10 points. Worst case, you will therefore need to spend 30,500 doubloons, but as that's something like 100 euros, I advise against doing that. There's nothing special about Grzegorz Brzezięty other than his name, and you can get Szwirski from the campaign. If you are lucky with your rolls and you get the commanders, and then complete the campaign, you will be compensated with 7,500 doubloons for getting Szwirski twice. Starting on Wednesday the 15th of April, a new season of clan battles will start, continuing until Monday the 8th of June. This season is a bit controversial, being played at Tier 10 in a 7v7 format, with teams having to choose either one battleship or one carrier. The competitive players I've spoken to feel this may lead to the development of a very restrictive meta, with every team taking a carrier, blobbing up and using a lot of smoke, leaving all destroyer and especially battleship players on the bench. Wargaming say they will monitor how the season goes, and I encourage you to fill in carefully any surveys which are sent out following the season if you take part. You can also give feedback to Wargaming via the usual channels such as the forums, and also the new WoW's official Discord server, which was announced last week. Find the link in your local news portal. Free captain respecs will not be available for this season, since it does include carriers, and the exclusion of CVs was the reason for the free respec in the last season. This update also sees a ranked sprint season being held in the arms race mode at tiers 9 and 10 in a 12v12 format. It's basically random battles in arms race mode. Divisions of 2 should be allowed, though I'm not 100% certain on that, but if they are, players must be in the same half of the rank ladder to div up. Watch the news portal for more information before the season starts on the 29th of April. It will run for 2 weeks. By the way, you might be thinking there's been a lot of focus on Tier 10 recently, and Wargaming are aware of this, so the next full rank season will be at Tier 7, and it's the first ranked season I've been excited about playing for a long time. It's not happening just yet, so watch out for more news in a few weeks. This change is very exciting because I tried it out on PTS and it was, frankly, fantastic in terms of the UI change. This update, economic and combat signals will be separated in terms of mounting limits. You'll still be able to mount up to 8 combat signals, but you'll also be able to mount all of the economic signals at once, for a total of 21 signals maximum at once. This part of the change I don't like, because the last thing the runaway economy in this game needs is more bonuses, but the other part I do really like. No longer will you have to click a signal, click mount, and then wait, and then repeat. Mounting and demounting is becoming single click, and on PTS it was smooth as butter. I could just about beat it by clicking really quickly, but it's a million times better than the old UI. There are also mount all and demount all buttons to make it even faster. My only concern is whether it will work as smoothly on the live servers, which have much higher user populations, but if this works well on live, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. A great little change for newer players is coming to the tech tree. At appropriate points in the lines, little information markers allow players to learn about the basic characteristics of the ship in that line from that point. Simply click the marker to show the information. Some further changes are being made to the Matchmaker to make the mix of tiers and classes in matches more evenly spread. Like all improvements to the Matchmaker, the changes are time-based. So when the queue is quieter, you might still see some strange matchmaking, but normally now, you should see a good mixture of tiers and classes in every match from Tier 7 up, when the battle isn't single tier only. This means you shouldn't have many matches when you're the only Tier 7 in a Tier 9 team, for example. Unique upgrades, known to many players as legendary upgrades, are being added to the Armoury for research points. Each upgrade will cost 19,200 points, and will therefore require 2 full non-CV line regrinds or 1 regrind with the quarterly double bonus. Further changes to the upgrades will be coming in update 095, and we don't have any further details on that just yet, but I'm expecting some balance changes and upgrades for ships which don't currently have one, as well as presumably the return of the carrier upgrades which currently aren't working. Marblehead, Anshan and new Tier 10 French special destroyer Marceau will be added to the Armoury for coal, with Marceau costing 236,000 coal. Marceau is a clever hull with Colbert guns, and is a fun ship if you're an experienced gunboat player. However, landing the very floaty shells can be challenging at longer ranges. Smolensk, Jean Bart, Flint, Black and Neustrashimy are all being removed from the Armoury when the update hits. Smolensk and Jean Bart are not coming back anytime soon. The other 3 will be available for coal at some point in the future, not sooner than 6 months' time. Finally, premium Tier 8 European destroyer Orkan will be available for doubloons in the Armoury later in April. Lastly, I'm really excited to tell you about my 5,000 Twitch follower celebration stream. When I started on the road to becoming a CC, my focus was on YouTube, but I also tried streaming, and now my Twitch channel has become my main channel instead. I will of course keep making these news updates, but some of you may not be aware that I stream. To celebrate the 5,000 follower milestone, I will be giving away 16 premium ships during a special stream on Friday the 10th of April, starting at 6 PM UK time. You can see the order in which I'll be giving them away here. I'll be playing each ship while I run a raffle for it, giving each ship away after each match. While I can't give times for each giveaway, hopefully this list will help you estimate when I'll be doing each ship. The ships are provided by Wargaming, and I've chosen some of my favourites. Some ships I think are interesting, and Jean Bart which will have been removed from the Armoury by the time this giveaway stream happens. This may be your last chance to get her. Winners will be credited their ships some days after the stream. Players from all regions are welcome to enter, so please do pop along and celebrate with us. My Twitch channel is at twitch.tv/StatsBloke and also in the video description. That's it from me for this Foghorn. I hope you are keeping yourself and others safe and relieving the enormous pressure being felt by doctors and nurses by staying at home unless you absolutely have to go out. Even if you feel well, you may be spreading the virus without realizing it. If you are a worker providing an essential service such as a nurse, but also people continuing our supply chains and manning our essential shops, thank you. You are appreciated. If you meet one of these essential workers, please do say thank you to them from a safe distance. It will make their day. Stay safe, stay healthy, use technology to stay in touch with each other. You are not alone, and I'll speak to you soon. Foghorn impression for Mr. G. I have no idea what Foghorn actually sounds like. My dog's looking at me like I'm crazy. What's up, dog? Grzegorz Brzęczystakiewicz